In today's video, I want to show you my workflow when I create a new animation or when I'm working on an animation show. So, if you want to know how I work, then stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel, the channel where I want to help new and upcoming animators to start their journey and to become better animators. In today's video, I want to show you a little bit of how I work, my animation workflow, the whole process that I go through and the order that I animate everything. Now, this is not like rules set in stone. This is just the way I work. This is how I break down my scene, and it just makes things easier for me to animate. So there's certain stages that I go through, and in this video I'm going to show you a scene that I've already animated. So I'm not going to go through the scene and animate everything from scratch. I'm just going to show you a pre-animated scene and break it down and show you how I've worked. Now, if you really want to dive deeper into what I'm going to show today, I do have an online training video that you can go sign up for. It is absolutely free. You can just click on the link in the description below and you can just sign up and you can go and watch that video. It is a free video, free training, and it's also on demand, so you can go and watch that video anytime you want. So it's not like a scheduled webinar that you have to be available a certain time. So you can go and you can sign up and watch it anytime you want, and it is just so easy. So go sign up, check that online training, and I will dive a lot deeper into what I'm going to discuss today. And also the other thing, the great thing about that video training is by the end of that video you would have created your very first animation. So that is the great thing of that training video. It is not just a video that you sit back and watch, but you actually work along with me and you will animate with me, and by the end of the video you would have completed your very first animation. So in this video I'm going to break down this scene that I've created for a show of mine called Don't Be a Fool, and I'm going to show you and guide you my workflow, how I normally work or animate a scene. Now, just a disclaimer that when I animate a scene or a clip, I normally work off my animatic that I've created. So the first thing I do is I create my storyboard, then I do my voiceover recordings and I build my sound design, and then I also build my animatic, and then I export clips, and then I animate those clips, and those clips I will then go back to my animatic and I will replace the storyboard images with my actual animation, and that is how I build my whole episode. So if you also want to know more about that whole process, I do have an online course available. Again, I will put the description in the or the link in the description box below. So if you want to know more about creating an animatic or the whole process, but I also have a video on why you should create an animatic when you do animation. So just click at the top here. There's a link. You can just click there and you can watch that video as well, why I recommend you implement animatic in your workflow. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to look at your storyboarding and animatic and your sound design and everything is done. So now it is just the animation. So I am working off my animatic. Okay. So the first thing obviously is I've got my scene here. So let me just exit. This is what the scene looks like. I've built my scene. So obviously that is the first thing you need to do, is you build your scene. You place your characters everywhere they need to be, and then you work from there. So you will build your scene around your animatic or your storyboard. That is very important. You need to know where you need to place your characters, your scenes, your props, and you'll get a good reference or an idea from your storyboard or your animatic. So the first thing obviously is you need to build your scene and place your characters and props where they need to be. The second thing I normally do is I will look at the most important character or prop or the focus of that scene or clip. Now let me quickly show you this whole clip, and then I will show you what I would say the most important the focuses of the scene. So let's quickly press play.
Senseless. Don't be a fool, son.
Okay, so that is the whole scene or the whole clip. So for me, when I've created my animatic, I've added all the sound effects already. So I know one main focus of the scene is the truck. So I need to get the timing right for the truck when he passes by, so that when you hear the truck passes by, that it will match, your animation will match the sound. So for me, the key focus of this scene is the truck. So everything goes around the truck. So what I will normally do is I will exit here. I will insert the truck, obviously. You can see there is my truck. And then if I'm going to press play now.
Senseless.
So that was the first thing I animated, was the truck, and I made sure that I've got the timing of the truck right so that it matched the sound effects. Now I must admit, when I did my final editing, I added a crash sound to when the truck hits the character. So I've added more sound effects later on, so you won't hear it here, but my animatic really guided me to when the truck needs to pass by. So the first thing obviously I did was I animated my truck.
Senseless.
So the second thing I did was I looked at the secondary object of my clip, and that is the character. So as you can see, if I'm going to press play, my character goes through different phases. Okay, the first one is he walks, then he stands still, then he jumps, and then behind the truck I've changed the angle so that he lies down. So if I press play, look for those different timing for my character. He walks, he stops, he gets hit, and he lays down. So that was the second thing I animated. So I got my timing for my truck right now. I've animated my truck. Now I need to animate the character. But the first thing, before I do any animation, I get the positions right. So in other words, I get where he needs to stand. Then he walks, and where he stops there, I need him to stop. And then animate where he obviously gets hit. So let's do some keyframe. There he gets hit. Now look behind the truck. You will see I there changed the position of my character, because you can see he's now lying. And there you can see he's lying. So if I go from the beginning, he walks, he stops, he jumps, and then I change the angle so he lies down. Okay, so that is the second thing, and I also tweak it so that the timing is right, so that it matches the truck. So let's press play.
Senseless. Don't be a fool, son.
Okay, so that is the second step, and then I will repeat the step depending on how many characters or props that I need to animate. So I will always look at the most important, the focus of that clip, one that everything works around from or feeds from. I will animate that first, and then I will work from there, and I will animate all the other characters or props that needs to be animated. So in this instance, I did the truck first, and then I did the character. So I first did the movement of the character. Once I've got the movement done and the timing is perfect and it matches the truck, then I will add the details. So then I will add him walking.
Senseless.
So I will animate the walking. Now the nice thing about Cartoon Animator 4 is that it has some motions. So I dragged some walking motions. So I did it in less than a minute. My character was walking. The only thing I did had to animate was him jumping when he got hit. So this I animated. That I animated. So that is the second thing I did. And then obviously in the end, I would then animate this part where he moves up, looks at the camera, blink a few times. So I will then animate that. So now my character is done. Okay, so I've got my main focus, the truck is animated. I've got my secondary focus, my character, that is finished. Now what I do with my the next step is I then add more detail to my character. So normally this is the point where I will do lip syncing if there needs to be lip syncing. If my character is talking, in this case he doesn't talk, so there's no lip syncing that needs to be done. But for instance, he reacts, so there is some emotion that I need to add. So for instance, let's show.
Senseless.
When the truck comes, he needs to react. So you can see there he sees the truck, and then that. So I will do that facial expressions. I will do my lip syncing. I will do all of that. So also if I drag it to the end, then he moves up, and also he blinks. So I will also add all my eye blinking and all of that in this process as well. So this is really fine-tuning your animation. So the first step is obviously to get your timing right. You just move your character into place, get the timing right. The second one is to do all the animation, where he walks, where he jumps, where he changes his angle, where he lies down, where he sits up straight. You do all of that, all that animation, and then you add your final touches, your detail, your facial expressions, your lip syncing, your eye blinking. You add all of that. Maybe there's some more things you need to add to it to just make it look so much more believable. Maybe changing a hand sprite into something different that will work better. So you really add your detail there, and then you repeat this process for every prop or character in your scene until you've completed your whole scene. Then obviously you can add some more details. So for instance, if I go back, I've added that smashing sound. I don't know what you call it, but this graphic, this smashing graphic, I've added that, and I've animated it in. And then also that dizziness animation, I've added that as well. And luckily with Crazy Talk Animator or Cartoon Animator 4, it does have that included. So that was pre-animated, so I just dragged it, placed it, and so that was animated already. So now my whole scene is basically finished. I've got everything. The final step now is to animate my camera. So that is the final step. So if I remove the camera and I just let's just move this a bit here. If I press play, that is the whole scene.
Don't be a fool, son.
And then the final step is when I animate my camera and make sure my camera movement is right. And again, I will get my guidance or my reference for my camera movement and placement and everything from my animatic or my storyboards. So that is normally your storyboard will really give you a great idea of your camera placement and camera movement. So again, I will go back to my animatic and see how I need to place my camera and how I need to animate it, when I need to zoom in, zoom out, all of those things. So that is the final step. So
Senses.
I will then animate my camera, and there it zooms in, and all of that I will get from my Animatic and my storyboard. So I know exactly what to animate, and then that is the final step, is to animate my camera. Then I'm done. I can just maybe, once I'm done, I can just look and see if I need to do any tweaks or adjustments somewhere to but once that is done, once the camera is done, I can then export it and then import it into my Animatic and replace it with the storyboard images, and I can then continue on to the next clip. So that is my workflow. I really do it step by step. It just makes it so much easier when you take your clip and you break it down into certain specific segments. For instance, in this case, I did the truck first, then I did my character placement, then I do the animation on the character, then I do add the detail like the lip syncing, the eye blinking, the facial expressions, the hand sprites, all of that. I will do that. Then I will add effects that needs to be added, and then I do my camera. So I really go through certain phases when I animate. I break my clip down to what is the most important in that clip, and then I work from there. That is how I find it to work the best for me. That is how I animate. That is how I approach a clip or a scene, and it just makes things so much easier for me. And this is not, like I've mentioned in the beginning, this is not set in stone. This is just my way of working, and it works for me. And I'm sure that every animator has a different way of animating, and that works for them. So let me know in the description below how you animate. What's the processes you follow? If you are new to animation and you really want to start out, again, feel free to go take my free online training video of my free online training, and it will really go much deeper on what I've explained in this video. So go and take that online training, and I'm sure that will really help you. And if you've enjoyed this video, click that like button, and also feel free to subscribe if you want more videos like this. I release a new video every single week, so click that subscribe button, and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a new video. So guys, this is it for me. I hope this will help you know how to approach a scene when you start animating. Sometimes when I remember back when I started animating, I just didn't know where to start. It really was daunting for me. You have this picture in your head of what you want the final product to look like, but you just don't know where to start. And this is my workflow. This is how I approach every clip, and it really works for me. So it's so much easier if you just break it down into small segments and you animate it according to that. So that is how I animate, and I'm sure it will, maybe for all the new animators, really get you guys going on how you can approach a scene as well in the future. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Till next time, God bless.